Hey, we'll get to the game-specific thing.
Yep.
A little bit of levity today in the room with Kyler Yamamoto sporting we have Thomas Hickey here. I think he won in 08 and 09 in Czech and in Ottawa. But just a thought on the guys having some fun around that and everybody, focus on those World Juniors.
Yeah, I thought it was good to see Yamo in that jersey. It looked good on him. Good for Team Canada. Obviously, everybody in our room is big hockey fans and grew up watching the World Juniors. So everyone I know, everyone who's Canadian anyways, is cheering for Team Canada against in their rematch versus Czechia.
All right. Normally, the focus is on your team, but this is a very specific type of team. They have a real structure and process with how they play. Just a thought on the matchup and maybe trying to get your team back to playing maybe a bit of that road game that's been successful this year.
Yeah, it's a good team coming in. I think they have 4 more points than us in the standings. And the way they go about their business is pretty simple, straightforward. I think they have some D-men that can pound the puck. They get to the net, and they make you pay if you make careless mistakes.
Dylan Holloway was talking today about, making mistakes and learning from them, but not letting them get you down and trying to build off of the positives too. What have you seen out of a young player that's made some mistakes and had to learn, and how's he bouncing back?
Yeah, I think Dylan, his process has been correct. He made some mistakes early on, and I think, he's averaging, around, especially recently, around the 10-minute mark in minutes played. I think he's figuring his way out in the best league in the world. I think the more that he plays, the more he learns what he can and can't do at this level. I think it's interesting if you look at his Hockey DB page or Elite Prospects page. I think if you look at some of the teams he's played on, that it sometimes takes him a little while to assimilate to that level. And I think he's following suit with what has been his pattern over his career, whether that's in the American League, whether that's in the NCAA or whatnot. He's figuring it out, and then he sees what he can and can't do. So we're very bullish on him as a player. He's got all the raw materials needed to be an effective player. And as I said, we're excited about him and his future.
Jake, Clean Costin told me, laughing but kind of serious, that he's more excited tonight than maybe was for his first NHL game when he saw his name on the board. He's going to play with McDavid. And we've seen some big guys, Pat Maroon, Zach Kassian, have extended stretches of success playing with McDavid. You've coached him, when you're first stint here in Edmonton and now. Is there a certain type of guy you feel that can have success? And is there certain things, if you do with Connor, like it's simple to say, hey, just go to the net, obviously, but are there other small details that can allow a guy to have success with McDavid?
Well, I think for Klim, what's great about him is that he's someone who's taken advantage of his opportunity. First round pick, didn't work out for him in St. Louis for whatever reason, gets traded to a different organization, starts in the American League, works his way up. I didn't know very much about him. I'd seen a little bit of film on him. He came up and he's taken a little bit more of the ice time pie as he's worked his way through. I think he's a big body. He goes hard to the net. He has he's got good hands in tight. And when he plays direct and simple, he's an effective player. But in terms of an example of someone taking advantage of opportunity, again, we go to talking about coaching with our eyes and coaching with what we see. He's a good example of that.
Jack Campbell's going to start tonight. His last few starts, there seems to be signs of him kind of getting his game back to the level, hopefully, that he wants. What have you noticed maybe in his last 3 or 4 starts that's given you more confidence that he can get back to the goalie that he feels he's capable of being?
Yeah, I think Jack's a good goaltender, and, everyone goes through tough stretches. And when you go through a tough stretch, you learn about yourself. I think you get back to some foundation pieces about your game. And I thought he went in and gave us a really good half game there when he went in against Seattle.
With all the talk about how this team is playing at home, 4 of those games you've led. The other game, 17 shots against Winnipeg. So what does this team need to do to instill that mindset to finish off those games? Does that have to come from the coaching staff, or does that have to come from the players within the locker room?
Well, I like what you said there. In every one of those games, we felt were winnable. What gets lost when you don't get the result is all the good things that you did in order to put yourself in those positions. For us, we talked about it the other night, using last game as an example. It comes down to certain moments within a game. Hockey's a game of mistakes. We understand that. But there are certain moments in the game where we feel we can be better at. And those are important moments. I can't tell you, I can't tell the players, I can't tell the coaching staff when the most important in tonight's game is going to be. I don't know that, not ahead of time. But I do know that the team that manages those moments the best is the one that's going to walk out of this building with 2 points. And, I think our team game is in a pretty good spot. But those moments within games, I think we can do a lot better job of.